All right, we're gonna do a clapping. Hello, everyone. My name's Smogles. I'm not a robot, and hi. It's been a bit. How you doing? How's the fam? Did uh did everything work out with that situation? Oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry about that. Or, oh, that's great. Oh, fantastic. Well, it'll just respond to whatever you're doing.
I am Smogles and I'm not a robot. I'm a normal guy with normal thoughts. I am Smogles and I'm just like you. There's no reason to believe I'm anything else. Totally do.
Anyway, good to see you. Um, we're here. Decided to work on doing some more video stuff again, and here we are with Citizen Sleeper. I have been told many a time that I need to actually play this game, and I'm gonna soon find out why. But it is based on TTRPGs, which I enjoy, so I think might be a good spot. Let's try it out. Oh, Citizen Sleeper 2 is announced. Well, why am I even playing this one? Okay, here we go. Citizen Sleeper 1. 1. We're doing the 1. Oh boy. Okay. Character class. Operator works with drones and high precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. Thank you. Good with interface, not good with endurance. Everything else is third. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, have high level of endurance, which is why there's the endure thing there. Oh, their perk is photosynthetic skin. Sunbathed dice action allows energy to recover at home. Chance to gain cryo on interface actions. Machinist repairs and modifies automated system using industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. Perk efficient extractor, chance to random scrap item on your actions. Let's see. Playing a bunch of like brute force characters recently. Machinist is a little more. Operator is a little more tactical. Machinist is structured, I guess. I am. I think I'll go with operate. Get a, considering I'm cerebral and precise, I think that'll be a good idea. It'll be a while since I'll be playing a smart character. The first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect, the delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. I am in the unknown, yay! It's at its worst when waking, when your self has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. I think of that body or forget that. Used to be a body? I'll think of that body. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day, the sting of blood welling from a fresh wound, the friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach. You can't tell one from the other. I'm sure that was fine. That was a totally normal thing to happen. The cold slips in, behind and around you. The sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dulled nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immensely present. Cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful. Not like you used to know pain, at least. The emergency mode pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. I would like to remember what the plan was. What am I doing here? You mostly remembered it wasn't a good plan. Good. This is a TTRPG. But then your options were limited. And once you got the itch to get out by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drift away in the chaos, slip into cargo processing, seal yourself into containers, and then just hope the freighter left before you were missed. Sounds easy to me. Some were lost in the shaft. Others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers. But the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough. Enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reached any destination. Okay, well, I don't think I'll wait for the cold. I'm gonna try, the cold's already here. I'm gonna try to rest. But you are restless. Thanks, game. It has been a long time since you left, surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of the damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible. Your body still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. And this whole being in a false body, being like some sort of like electronic system that's trying to emulate sleep. Wild, right? Not like us humans who don't have that issue. Time passes, the cold creeps further. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound too, everywhere. Screeching, shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then light, cold as white, softer and softer, until in a haze of dirty yellow, a figure appears. You are out. Oh. Interesting. Data. Dragos, a pragmatic and private salvager. It's been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in the corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You're slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the inertly curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ship, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. So, Sleeper, you thawed yet? Almost. Never seen one of you come in like this. You frames must have better perseverance in sub-zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech. His headset with its glinting eyes, the mark of a drone operator. Hey, same! On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in the memory for a moment, or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. I would like to know what happened to them. He ignores your question. I won't ask what led you to do it, to sell yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you don't know you can't go back. Your old body, it's theirs now, and you are just software. A rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms. The cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells. The promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not the things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot. Copy. This is giving big, well, oh, wait, no, I know this. It's giving big, the thing from the Amnesia group, the underwater game that I played. This one. See, I knew what it was. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least, the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours, falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. SNR wants to protect their property. If they can't keep a hold of you, no one can. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it. Planned obsolescence, a built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them, your body begins to shut down, separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, Sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away towards the glossy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you could be right now. You know what? He's ignoring my questions. I'm just gonna stay silent. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with. He trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been putting much valuable scrap these days, so you are welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion. fatigue. Shakily get to your feet. Odd. Alright, you head up on up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Drago stalks back into the Rex, his drones already converging on a rusting Hulk. Plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. Welcome to Erlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. Ooh. Okay. That's about the range of everything. Okay, good. Endurance upgrade points. Great. I don't have any right now, but I need to do. Okay. End cycle. End cycle. Begin the ending of the cycle. There we go. You wake curled up in the corner of the container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. Its message is readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pull the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are, on this ruined station. Millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? Possible to know. After all this, what matters? What matters? Escape, getting answers, building a life. It does feel like you wanted to, like, the reason you wanted to escape was to build a life. So, maybe that's the one. Maybe you did get lucky finding yourself here. Maybe here, on the edge of everything, there's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container: a mylar blanket, a bedroll you slept on, canister of water, makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them onto the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images of your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. Webs of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes, like angular suns, burning in your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you finish drinking before they fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can, try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Okay, your condition represents the current state of your artificial. It depletes by one segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse condition you have, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions, and you must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss. And your condition will also deplete at double rate. Okay. So I can... So depletes 1 segment each cycle, also be damaged. Or if I'm starving, I will also start losing condition. Action items. This is basically a roll and write, so I roll dice, and that's my dice pool. All right, let's see what I have available. Dragos is standing on the corridor when you close up the container. He's still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it's implanted. The drone sits on his shoulder, its catch sensors rapidly rising. How are you feeling? I guess okay. Oh, it's the drone. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it will keep you safe. He pauses. So, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Work? Look, I'll be honest with you, Sleeper. I didn't pull you out of that container out of the goodness of my heart. Oh no, it is the guy speaking. He looks away. At the yards, it's simple stuff. We back these old holes down, sell them off to shipyards or bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally, we pull out some tech, something a bit more valuable, but mostly what it comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper, you'll be used to the manual labor. And obviously, I'll slip you a few chits for commission based on what you turn up. Chits? These! He pulls out a handful of small metal bars. Air-walled cryo. Isolated from the market. It's what we use to trade out here. He stuffs them back in a pocket. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. My opinion, you're best to moving on as quickly as you can. And sleepers, well, he trails off. But things being the way they are for me at the yard, I need the help. Sure, I'm happy to. You pulled it out. Okay. Pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do. Nods distractedly, walks away, drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later! Looks like it's time to get work. Okay. Is that the only place I can get? There is passage to the low end, but I don't think there's a reason for me to go there right. So yeah, we'll go to Dragos' yard. Help out. Okay, actions are the primary way you interact with the world. Perform an action. Select and choose an action dice to assign. Actions reward you with clock, progress, energy, condition, or items depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcomes. Positive. Actions succeed. Action dice affect these outcomes as follows. Oh, okay. So if I want something to very much like do well, I would put it like put one of the yellows up. Okay. Type: critical or repeatable. Critical can only be performed once. Risk is safe, risky, or dangerous. Safe, no loss of condition, energy, or cryo. Risky, negative outcome means cryo or energy loss. Danger, negative outcome means condition loss. Neutral outcome can be cryo or energy loss. I don't know what cryo is. A skill that this action requires either engineer interface into it, right? Modifier depends on what I have. Oh, and some require a +1. Okay, a debt called in. Dragos is tied up in something ugly. If he misses a payment or 2, things could get nasty. Back in business, every salvager knows they're always one lucky haul away from their next payday. Okay, so I need to... So if I help him out here, then I'm able to really get some good, um, and I'm able to help him, really help him out here. Okay. Let's get the one here since it's safe. Since it's safe, let's just put the one there. No big thing if I don't get this. Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Dragos' death, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle, can be completed without player input. Alright, so I did that. I got 10 cryo out of it. Gonna go over here, up with the whole dissection. Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you to pursuing specific objectives. Depending on the path you would take, you could track drives. Okay, so survive a doctor, find a doctor, it's the way to go. Okay. Let's see. Construction yards over here. Wet dock, there's an old dock terminal. Right market. Helping Dragoses. Construction yards. Let's go. I feel like a market will probably have stuff. Knowledge. Okay, so it'll increase my local knowledge if I. I wonder. Okay, so this is a repeatable action that helps stuff, but I can use one of my guaranteed successes to ask for directions here. I'll do that. Local knowledge. Oh, so my local knowledge is increased significantly. Fantastic. Great. And I found a doctor. Yay! And I found places to eat. Okay. Next comes the hall from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that the doctor was operating out of this place, and now that you are here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hab block, they have all made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few. Without a supply of stabilizer in this body, your body will. You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward towards the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Let's look at the enforcer. Sure, that's not going to cause a problem. The enforcer is looking down the corridor, and you dare to glance at him. His purpose is unmistakable. He is there to intimidate, to threaten, if necessary, carry out those threats. His broad shoulders are framed with a metal exoskeleton. A couple of mirror-like implants sit below his eyes like mercury teardrops. Subsidiary sense input or aesthetic markers, you aren't sure. You also aren't too familiar with the geometric blade-like tattoo on his arm, but you make a note of it. You avert your eyes when he looks back at the cube. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway. You catch a distant voice. Next one in, Toshiro. The enforcer jerks his head. You slip inside, passing through the dark entryway, pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market's sealed roof and buzzing traffic above. For a moment, you are transfixed by the motion. Come, sit, calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turn away, replacing plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak, they blink, and then quickly regain their composure. Please sit. They gesture to the bed and then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns. Sabine is the doctor in the bright market. A compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. Remain still, please. Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from the expression when you first enter. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been on the station? They ask, a scanner still to their eye. I'm not gonna answer. They lower their scanner and meet your eye. You can talk. They glance towards the doorway. I know conditions aren't ideal. I need you to be honest with me. They make some adjustments to the scanner. Or you can leave. They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. They take up your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying, they say without ceremony, without drama, not without empathy. SNARP doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose to prevent bodies like yours, frames, as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping. They built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly, but not regularly injected with a stabilizer, in which SNARP remains the sole producer of. Look up. Sound familiar? Yes. Good. That may help. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says. You aren't sure if they mean the cold touch of the metal or for everything else. Emulations like you, the sleepers, as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. Focus hard on the inspection of your arm. An SNARP has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know this is of little use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something. Anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help. They sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes. Hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside? You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yatagan. They are influential in the low end. They give me this space to work, run the door, and take the profits. And at the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, to attend to their implants, sew up their wounds. They look away. But Yadigan has connections. Smugglers from the Starward Belt, mercenaries working for corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine sets down their slates, their notes complete. But this is dangerous, and it'll be expensive. I think we can do it. Why help me? Sabine walks. What's music? Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave. Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face. But the room looks dark against the lights of the market. Duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Okay. Well. So Sabine is going to have a lead. Yeah, Sabine is working on sourcing the stabilizer. So that's going to take about 3 cycles. So, in the meantime, I should definitely see if I can afford some food. Ah. Emphys, an imposing food vendor. Emphys is busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables and some red-flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus in a bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. Let's watch for now, as we call it. Despite the queue, Emphys doesn't rush. He dresses each portion individually, squeezing precise slugs of liquid from an assortment of bottles into a bowl of torn leaves and bright slices before tossing them loosely together. Occasionally, a waiting customer might mutter something about efficiency, but Emphys remains steady in his process. After a while, the queue fades back into the crowd. Emphys sets a metal bowl down, looks across the burner to see you watching him. I can feel your eyes burning a hole in my bowl. Free sample? Sure. He gestures. Come over. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks. The earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat of the burner is like a bonfire, and your skin hardens in its glare. I know you. Sleepers, Emphys says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life, lots of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. Tell him a story. You begin to tell him about your journey to the Eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and the dark of the container and the endless cycles spent within it. Now it seems, you tell him, like some dream that you had once but can never forget. You tell him that the Eye excites you and scares you, and you're unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually you tail off, running out of words. He places a plastic tray of steaming fungus into your hand. Next time we can talk some more. He smiles. Next time. Pay. He slams a heavy hand against the button of the burner's side and shuts off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. He waves you away, begins to oil the walk. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice a geometric pattern of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. You walk away. As you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. All right. Okay, good. Good. So I got that all set. Do I want to get more info on the Bright Market? I'd explore the market. Or what's happening over here? Oh, there's a salvage sortie. Okay. That one takes a little bit longer. Great. Tunda. Good, getting to know Rotunda. Okay, I could become a dock watcher and learn that, although Havenage running the Rotunda and their security watch, yeah, I probably shouldn't get into too much. Shipyard. Do some ship work. Why don't I explore the market? Yeah, let's explore the market. I'll do okay. Local knowledge. And I am fully knowledgeable about everything here. There's a hardware exchange where I can sell stuff. Oh, there I can play the stock exchange. I don't think I'm quite into that yet. What's my door is down. Interfaces is why don't I help out Dragos? I wanna make sure Dragos is definitely gonna have something bad happen. Okay, so I gotta cry it, but I got some. I got some money from there. All right. Great. I think that's going to be enough for today. I'll go ahead and get some sleep, and then next cycle we'll be back. Thank you so much for watching, and please, if you are enjoying this so far, please go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and there will definitely be more episodes of this coming out. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you at the next one. Goodbye!